fam, it's Alex Vanover. Welcome back to my craft room. If you are new here for the first time, then welcome. I am so excited that you're here. In this video, I'm gonna show you how to make your very own DIY Bachelorette t-shirts using glitter HTV and printed pattern HTV. So let's jump into it. So to get started with our project, the first thing we need to do is choose the saying that we're gonna put on our Bachelorette shirts, because Lord knows there are so many different options, and I wanted to show you guys the file bundle that I bought to go with this project because it has so many great options. So for $6, you get 26 different SVGs, and they're all paired together with the bride and then the shirts for the rest of the Bachelorette, which I think is so fun. So there's like the bride and the party, engaged AF and drunk AF, I'm getting married, so we're getting drunk. And I love like the bride's babes because I know a lot of people are not a big fan of bridesmaids. There's just so many fun options. Getting hitched, getting lit, so many cute files. So I'm going to be using the soon to be Mrs. and the soon to be drunk files. I already have this loaded in my Cricut Design Space. I just wanted to show you what the options were. In case you're not sure what saying you want to use, you can get this bundle and it has everything. So we'll hop into my Cricut Design Space, and I already have them uploaded. I just need to click each of them and add them to my canvas. So next I need to size them, of course. So I'm going to zoom out a little bit, and we're going to go ahead and size them. So these are both going on large size shirts. So this one's actually pretty close already. It's 10.7 inches, but I'm just going to make it 10 inches exactly because that's my favorite size for adult size large shirts. And then I'm going to make sure that this one is 10 inches as well. So what I'm going to be doing for these is the bride shirt that I'm making is white, and it's going to be using champagne glitter for the entire design. And then on all the black shirts for everyone going to the bachelorette party, I'm going to have this whole design be cut out of the printed pattern HTV called Party Dots from my DIY Alex collection, which is awesome. So I can't wait to show you guys how cute that looks. And the only reason this is a little bit smaller is because drunk is a little bit of a longer word. So maybe let's make this one 10.5 inches or so, just to give a little bit more length to this word, but it won't matter. Once it's on everybody's shirt, it'll be fine. So next, of course, we need to attach everything and then change the color. So now that this is all attached, I'll make this one just like kind of a darker gold. And then I'll turn this one, after I attach it, to just be plain white, even though it's going to be champagne glitter. That will help me remember what color I need to make everything. Then, of course, we need to save our project. And we'll move into the prep screen. So this is where I want you guys to make sure you're always paying attention when you work with printed pattern HTV. So since this one is going to be champagne glitter HTV, we're going to mirror it just like we normally would. But since this one is going to be cut out of printed pattern HTV, I am not going to mirror it, because anytime you work with printed pattern HTV that doesn't have a carrier sheet already attached to it like this one, you do not mirror that design. So now that we have everything set up the way we need to, we'll go ahead and click continue. And once the machine connects, next you can select your cut setting. So for the champagne glitter HTV, I'm going to be selecting glitter iron on, and then I'm not going to show you guys this on the screen, but when I move into the printed pattern HTV, I'm just going to use everyday iron on setting for that printed pattern HTV. And I sometimes like to turn my pressure up to more, just a little bit. It kind of depends on your machine. So if you've never cut it before, be sure to do a test cut, but those are the cut settings I'm going to use. So let's hop over to my craft table. I'll show you guys how to cut all this out and apply it to your shirts. Begin by placing the champagne glitter HTV shiny side down on your mat. Then insert it into your machine and press the flashing C button to cut the HTV just like you normally would. When it's finished, unload the glitter HTV mat. Then place your printed pattern HTV pretty side up on the mat and insert it into your machine. Be sure to change your Cricut's cut setting to the everyday iron-on setting before pressing the flashing C button. Then allow your cutting machine to work its magic. Next, we need to weed the projects that we just cut. I'm going to be using my favorite weeding tool, my pin pen from 143 Vinyl. If you're not already using one of these, then you're definitely missing out. I'll link it for you in the description box below. I'm also collecting all my tiny scraps in my iVine weeding berry. That little thing is a lifesaver. Whenever you're weeding script fonts, when you're finished, make sure there aren't any missing spots, especially in letters like the S. When it's time to weed the printed pattern HTV, begin by peeling off a corner and getting rid of everything outside the cut first, since the cut lines can be really hard to see. Then weed the rest of the letters as you normally would. Next, you need to add the heat transfer mask, which is a lot like a heat-safe transfer tape, in order to transfer the printed pattern HTV onto your shirt. Begin by cutting a piece of transfer mask the same size as your HTV. Then remove the backing for the transfer mask and apply it to your HTV just like you would apply normal transfer tape. Then use a squeegee to remove any air bubbles and get really good contact with the HTV. If your transfer mask struggles to pick up the HTV, then squeegee it again. Then flip the HTV over and remove the printed pattern's backing. As you can see, my HTV is wanting to hang on to the backing a little bit. That's because my printed pattern HTV is cut a little bit deeper than it should have been. I should have done a test cut before I cut mine, just like I told you all to do, but that's okay. The letters can still be removed from the backing onto the transfer mask. It just takes a little bit more effort. Once the backing is removed, working with printed pattern HTV is just like working with pretty much any other type of HTV. Next, it's time to apply the HTV to our shirts. If your shirt has been sitting for a while, then use a lint roller to remove any lint from it. You may also need to remove some wrinkles using your preheated Easy Press like I did. Once the wrinkles are gone, then you can set up your shirt. I used a t-shirt guide to ensure that I applied my HTV really straight and 3 inches down from the collar. I love how much easier this makes it. Then I folded my glitter HTV in half so I had a line in the center to line up with the center line on the t-shirt guide. Then after sticking it down and removing the guide, I always like to hold up my shirts so that I can double check that it looks super straight. Next, I added a Teflon sheet on top of my HTV. This is always optional, but I always use one to protect my heat source. And don't forget to use your Easy Press mat underneath your shirt to protect your table and get the best press. Then I applied my glitter HTV at 320 degrees for 15 seconds. Since I have a 9x9 Easy Press and my design was 10 inches wide, I had to press my design in 2 different parts. Glitter HTV's carrier sheet is a hot peel, so as soon as I could touch it without burning my fingers, I removed my carrier sheet. Since pattern HTV applies at 300 degrees for 15 seconds, I lowered the temperature on my Easy Press while I prepared my second shirt. I started with lint rolling the shirt again and removing any wrinkles that I didn't want where I was going to apply the HTV. Then I used my t-shirt guide to line up my decal again, except I didn't fold it in half this time. I've learned that with pattern HTV, it can get stuck to the transfer mask when I fold it in half, so I don't do it anymore. Then I laid down my Teflon sheet and pressed my design in 2 parts, each at 300 degrees for 15 seconds. Pattern HTV has a warm peel, so let it cool for 30 seconds to a minute before removing the carrier sheet. I kind of like to wiggle my shirt around to help it cool down a little faster. Then once you've removed the carrier sheet, you're all done. If you're not already a part of my wedding Facebook group, then I really want you to join us. So search Facebook for Cricut Brides and Wedding Crafts, or you can find the link down in the description below. If you decide to make anything using my tutorials and you share it out on Instagram, please use the hashtag DIYAlex so that I can see what you guys are crafting and learning about. And if you've made it this far in the video, then I really want to get to know you on social media. So please be sure to search for me at DIYAlexVanover on pretty much all major social media platforms. I'll also put direct links down in the description below. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more just like it, then be sure to subscribe to the DIY Alex YouTube channel and be sure to ring the bell so that you get notified every single time that I put out a new video every single week. But don't wait for next week's video. Be sure to check out this one next. Or if you want to make your DIY dreams come true, be sure to check out this video. I know that you're going to love it.